everybody. Welcome to Change, the emerging technology podcast, where we talk about how technology, blockchain, AI, AR, VR, and so forth is changing the world. I have a super exciting interview for you today. I'm really excited about. It's with Ellie Hassenfeld of GiveWell, and they're a charitable organization that's doing a lot of good. So hats off to you, Ellie, right out of the gate. What's really exciting about this particular organization is how they're working with MUNCH, the MUNCH Token, and receiving donations from this rapidly growing organization that was just launched a few weeks ago, not years, a few weeks ago, and is already working with GiveWell in a significant way. So this kind of crypto blockchain charitable partnership, I believe, is the future, and we're going to get into a little bit of that here today with Ellie. So Ellie, again, thank you so much for your time. Before we kick off and I hand off to you to say hello and tell us a little bit about your background, thank you for all that you're doing. I've seen your work online, and you're doing some really amazing work. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, it's great to be here, Bill. And thank you. I'm the CEO and co-founder of GiveWell. And we're a group that does in-depth research on charities to help donors maximize the impact that their dollars can have. And just excited to be here to tell you a little bit about what we do.
Yeah, your Maximum Impact Fund is kind of the beneficiary kind of business unit that you have, maybe not business unit, but charitable unit that you have that's received over $2 million so far from MUNCH. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. It's $2 million, and we're going to direct it to the charity that we think needs the money most right now to do the most good.
That's phenomenal. What I saw from your website doing research for this is that you're really meticulous, and you have a really strong criteria for digging down into where's the money going with each charity, what do they do, who are their founders. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're trying to help people who are living in some of the poorest countries in the world, and it's just hard to know when you send money 10,000 miles away whether it's doing any good. And so we do in-depth research to determine that the charities that are receiving the money are having a significant impact. If they're delivering malaria nets, people are using those nets. The nets are staying in good condition. It's preventing cases of malaria. It's preventing children's deaths, and that's what we're all about.
Yeah, I love that. It looked like from your website, of course, you co-founded this in 2007. If I remember correctly, you were part of hedge funds and the finance arena before this. Is that correct?
Yeah, I started right after college. I went to work at a hedge fund, and I was there for a few years. And a few friends and I said, back then, single, no children. I said, I'm making some money. I want to give to charity. And when the friends and I went out and tried to figure out where to give, we were just struck by how little information was available to answer the question, how well do charities programs work? It's easy to find out how much they paid the CEO or how much goes to overhead versus programs. But if the whole budget was spent on programs, but the program doesn't work, it doesn't matter. You need to give to programs that are effective and having a significant impact. And so we left our jobs in 2007 to start GiveWell, which essentially was trying to create the research product that we wanted. Detailed, transparent research on charities having a significant impact that donors could use, but also dig into and vet to understand why we're recommending what we are and see whether they agree.
Fantastic model. Rodriguez Silva, the CEO at MUNCH, had stated in a couple of his webcasts that they needed to find a charity that was technology forward. Of course, you're in the Bay Area in San Francisco, so probably just innate where you live, technology's everywhere. Are you a technology focused? I mean, you said data. I've seen data on your website. And of course, I love the model being an emerging technology. Are you a technology forward charity? I mean, you're obviously able to accept Ether in this case and cryptocurrency. Do you find yourself to be that, or just is that not a focus?
I mean, we're set up to accept donations. We want to make it easier on donors to be able to give in whatever way works best for them. And, everything that, we're a website-based company versus virtually everything that we do. People are finding us via the internet, coming to us, using the information on our website, and then donating. I think a lot of people in the charity world are shocked by the success we're able to have just putting high quality information out there on a website about charities, about the research we do, and that there's such a groundswell of support from largely young people working in finance and tech who are looking for ways to put their money to work and do a lot of good.
Yeah, Generation Z and then Generation Alpha, born after 2010, they've, in some cases, still children, have been impacted heavily by the pandemic, but that generation you could see is giving a lot back and really care about that. So it's good to hear that you're seeing that kind of traction as well. Now, all this is built up. The Boston Globe has called GiveWell the gold standard for giving. So you've really evolved this to a point where it's a fantastic organization. Can you tell us a little bit more about the type of charities that you work with? I know you said health science and other areas, correct?
Yeah, so we're focused on charities that are working in low-income countries, so primarily in sub-Saharan Africa. And the reason we do that is that we're trying to find the charities that give you the biggest bang for your buck, and the needs overseas are so great that we focus there because we believe that's where a dollar can go furthest. And so there are a lot of groups out there looking at charities all over the world, some domestically, some internationally. But for us, the focus is really on finding those charities in those locations where you can give a dollar and it will go as far as possible and have the biggest effect.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much, and just good. You have good energy, and I've watched a lot of your videos that you had up online before this particular thing, and I know that beyond Munch, which, by the way, for those of you watching, what is Munch? And we'll talk about how you met them in a second. So Munch, the Munch token is a cryptocurrency that you can buy via Uniswap today. And Munch does something that is different than any other cryptocurrency I've seen and is really starting to do it well. Not only are they well branded and they have a very vibrant community, they take 10% of every transaction and they give 5% to charity. And then every month, the community at Munch selects the new charity to give that money to. And of course, Ellie, you've been I think the first beneficiary of this, so congrats to you. And then the other 5% goes back to the community for every transaction and kind of increases their stake in their coins, which is a wonderful thing as well, being a token holder. I love that. How did you meet Munch? How did that come about?
They came to us. They were looking for a charity to support when they launched, and the community recommended GiveWell as a place that they believed could take donations and use it well. And we were set up to receive Ethereum, so we made it easy for them to give directly to us, and we can put it to use.
Note to other charities: be ready to accept cryptocurrency. If they had said no on that call, they may have moved on to the next one. Who called you? How did that work?
I don't even know. I think they might have gosh, I wish I knew. I think the Ethereum might have just shown up in our account the first day. And then we started talking to them and said, well, thanks. And, now we've been in touch with the team and are like incredibly grateful for the support that we've received because, we know how big the needs are and how far $2 million can go to helping people in need.
It's going to go a long ways, and it's in good hands with you for sure. So do you feel like other charities will start working with cryptocurrencies? Have you heard about that in the industry at all?
I think it's worth it for charities to be ready to accept cryptocurrency. It can be hard for nonprofits to set it up, and nonprofits are notoriously underfunded in a way. It can be difficult to have the infrastructure to do what's necessary technologically. But I know for us, it's been a big benefit to be in a position where we can make it. Donors want to give; they want to be generous. They don't want to deal with a lot of administrative hassle, and so we just want to make it as easy as possible to give money and have it go to help the people who need it.
Well, you've done it here in just a matter of, I think, 3 weeks in. You've received the money, correct? Let's just reiterate. You've received $2 million.
No, we have the dollars.
Amazing. I hope that Munch becomes one of the biggest tokens in the world, and in a roundabout way, it comes back to you. But you're the first. And if we see the token grow and the number of holders of the token grow beyond, I think it grew past 7,000 today. One day it's 70,000. One thing I know for sure, I've been really impressed with your organization. And doing the research for this interview, I know that I'm going to be donating even outside of the token, going to your website and doing that. I hope for those of you that are watching this is a very forthright organization that does their research. And we talked about this before the call, what I had never seen before was the fact that you have published, there's a web page on your site that says, here are all the mistakes we've made, with a detailed summary of every mistake and so forth. I had never seen that before. Why did you start doing that?
Well, we think that in the nonprofit sector, there's no reason for information to be secret. We don't have competitors and intellectual property that we want to retain. We're all working together to try to make the world a better place. And so we think in the nonprofit sector, transparency should be the rule, and we can set the standard for that by sharing our mistakes. And frankly, we want to be strong as an organization. So we evaluate our mistakes, we recognize our mistakes, and internally we figure out how to improve. And once we've done that, why not share it publicly and help show others what's possible in the sector? Yeah,
from an organization standpoint, I think you could add the word "run" to the end. So GiveWell run. At least that's the feeling that I'm getting about your organization. So, Ellie, where can people find you? Where can they go to give to you?
We're at GiveWell.org. Yeah, just www.givewell.org. It's easy, and we hope you'll give, and feel free to reach out with any questions. We're here to answer questions and help people figure out how to give their money most effectively.
Outstanding. Ellie Hassenfeld, co-founder, I believe, co-founder, not founder, and CEO at GiveWell. Thank you for everybody that is working with Munch and buying Munch tokens, because 10% of every transaction, at least this month, goes to GiveWell, and it's gone a long way. So Ellie, again, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it, and look forward to continuing to give to you. And I'm glad you were able to share kind of your mission and everything about you here.
Yeah, this has been great. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.